your girl Victoria, back to you with another review for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 11, Episode 7, called Sorry, Not Sorry. So we're literally picking up where we left off last week, where we have Scrappy getting into it with Erica Mena and Sierra. So pretty much we left off with him getting in, specifically talking with Sierra. So they're still arguing, going back and forth, and the argument is not going anywhere. Scrappy's just like, you're not even my B, so I don't even know why we're having this conversation. So of course Sierra gets offended. She's like, oh, you're not gonna call me a B. Did you really just call me a B? And then that's when Scrappy realized what he done said. So he's like, okay, no, you're not a B, you a woman. He did apologize. Sierra trying to hear none of that, so she's going off, putting all her fingers and all her nails in his face, whatnot. So he shoves her hand away. So she gets upset, thinking that he done pushed her. So then she tries to push on him, and it's just like nothing's getting resolved. Chaotic does try to get in between to try to separate them and let us know in the confessional that listen, Sierra gotta just leave it alone. Like, she gotta stay out of it. This is none of her business. That's something for Bambi to figure out with Scrappy, which is what I done said last week. But she heated. She goes to the car, she starts crying. Scrappy ain't trying to hear none of that. And he's just telling us that, like, this got nothing to do with them. You're not gonna bring up his kids, all that stuff. Okay, whatever. I mean, does anything really get resolved? No, everything just gets splits up. So tensions are still high, but they're just gonna go cool off in their own little corner. That's literally all that happened. So then we moved on to Yandy and Lil Mendices. They're practicing dance move at her beauty store. So then we got Big Mendices. He comes up to them to talk about his interview that he had, I think with Shannon Sharpe. I think that's the person's name. I mean, if you've seen a picture of him, we would know. Am I going to put a picture on here? No, because he's not even really important in this storyline that they trying to throw on us. But pretty much he did an interview with somebody. And he brought up his mom. I guess he put his mom up for collateral way back when, a couple of decades ago, when he was, doing his thug naive in the vocabulary of Scrappy. But pretty much his mom wasn't really feeling what he was saying, and it's nothing new. It's same situation, different day. We dealt with this on the family reunion. I guess we're going to be dealing with it now with this Love and Hip Hop season. So, I mean, Yandy tries to give him some encouraging words and whatnot, but I mean, is it going to stick? Probably not really, but even Lil Mendices try to give him encouraging words too, which I thought was sweet. So, I mean, is there really anything else? No, other than the fact that he looked very nice in his confessional. He had a nice suit on, his white shirt underneath the suit looked, bleached white. He looked nice. There's something about a guy who dresses up nice in his confessionals that, catches my eye. So, you look nice in your confessional. But, I guess it's the storyline they're going to run with, so we'll see how that goes. And then we move on to Spice. She's back home from the Cayman Islands, and her and her sister are going to the doctor to get her stent removed. But come to find out, when she got to the doctor, they're unable to move her stent because they found another hernia, and it's bigger than the last one. So she can't get it removed, and she's probably gonna have to do another surgery. So, she's kind of devastated to hear the news, and she even cries once getting back to the car because, it's just always something. So, having health problems, I 100% understand. I have health problems. I've underwent surgery to get like my gallbladder removed. So I definitely understand. And to hear that she's gonna have to have yet another one in regards to the same situation, yes, it's unfortunate. So her being her emotions this episode, listen, I'm gonna let her have it because I could definitely understand. So, and I know having this surgery is also going to affect her in performing and trying to get better and healthier so she could perform maybe the way that she used to. But unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be even more further delayed. So there's a lot of things she got to think about, and I get it. So like I said, I'm gonna let her have it this episode, and then we're gonna move on to the next scene where Jessica is having a spa day, doing meditation, and she invited all the girls. So Amy and Erica Mena are the first to show up. Then Yandy shows up. Then Bambi shows up, and they do a sound bath. And during the sound bath, that's when Sierra shows up. And after they do the sound bath, they get little drinks. Rashida shows up right after. And as they're talking a little bit, they talk about Sierra breaking the internet because of her situation with Scrappy. And they talk about, then they move on to talking about standards. I guess Amy's question was, do you think our standards are too high? And that's when I believe, who said it? No, I think Jessica said no, it's not high enough, and Bambi, chimes in saying she wished she kept her standards high and not let Scrappy do what he done did to her. So, I mean, do I think women's standards are too high? I think it's just depending on the woman. In regards to answering Amy's question, it really depends. Some women's standards really do be high, depending on what they're asking is like very unrealistic. But some women, no, I feel like if that's your standard, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Is it going to be easy to find exactly what you're looking for? No. But if that's what you want, I'm not saying you can't get it. But if you want all your boxes checked off, then you need to go look in the right places. You can't be looking for a Scrappy depending on what your standards are. So you gotta search harder. Okay. And sometimes, honestly, you could be looking for whoever, but sometimes you just gotta let love find you, because it really be, as cliche as it sounds, be finding you in the most randomest of times. Like when you don't even be looking for nothing, it really be coming to you when you least expect it. So yes, it's good to have standards. Like I said, just depends on what your standards are. But for the most part, what's meant for you will come to you. And if your standards are realistic, you're gonna find what you're looking for. Like I said, it may not be easy because a lot of people nowadays don't got no standards. You know what I'm saying? But you will find it eventually. Just keep on hope. Okay? Pray to Jesus. But anyway, after they talk about standards, what else they get into? They talk about Safari and Jessica. They was flirting at the little shindig of Jasmine's gender reveal party. So Erica seemed a little bothered. So then it goes to commercial for dramatic effect. Comes back from commercial for dramatic effect. And, Erica lets us know in the confessional because she asked, oh, so were you flirting back? And she was like, oh, it's indirect flirting, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So Erica lets us know in the confessional, like, she gonna give Jessica the benefit of the doubt. But it's like nobody has loyalty nowadays. Erica, I mean, are you and Jessica so much friends that she owes you loyalty? Love and Hip Hop, of all franchises, everybody sees what everybody, it seems like. So why would it be different here? I believe, if I'm not, I might be wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, you slept with multiple people on this show that are like cool with each other. So, I mean, do you have loyalty? I'll let that sink in. Anyway, so after they talk about that, they just still try to press the issue with Jessica and Safari. So Jessica, sticks to that she didn't do nothing or whatnot. And that's when we move. Before we get to Jessica, I guess they separated Yandy and Rashida. So they go talk in another part of the spa. And they talk about Yandy Mendeecees in his interview and his mom not really feeling it. So Rashida tries to sympathize, saying, about Kirk and Scrappy, for that matter, having the same emotions as Mendeecees. Okay, cool. Back to the other girls. We get back to Jessica. She talks about, Safari was able to pull out from her or telling who her ex was, because she don't let people know who her ex was like that. Am I watching the same show? Because it really feels like every time you're on screen, Jessica, Nick is brought up. Now, I don't know if you meant necessarily his name or the fact of him being your ex or what he done did to you, but you remind us every time you're on screen how much Nick done hurt you and all that he did to you. I don't know how long your relationship was for or when you guys ended your relationship, but you talking about healing. It don't feel like you've been healed at all. It didn't even look like you even started healing, because you're still talking about him all to this day. I'm tired of you bringing up Nick Cannon. Okay, nobody really cared for Nicholas Cannon. Okay, who cared for Nicholas Cannon? His current polyester, in Chaotic's words, girlfriends, baby mamas, all that stuff. Even Mariah Carey ain't caring about Nicholas Cannon right now. Okay, all she care is about her kids, making her money. That's it. So the fact that you keep bringing him up, but then want to make it seem like, oh, you don't bring him up as much as like people, you try not to bring his name or the situation. Like, yes, you do. Everything you do, this whole point of you being on the show is to talk about Nicholas Cannon. So let's not sit here and pretend like it ain't what it ain't, because it is what it is. Okay. So anyway, she gets emotional talking about all he done brought her through and whatnot, and trying to heal privately. And I'm like, what are you trying to heal privately? Because you keep telling us about it, keep talking about it. If you were trying to heal privately, you probably wouldn't even be on the show. So please save it. I'm sorry you're going through it, but let's call it for what it is. Okay, you still care. It still don't hurt you, just like it still doesn't hurt Erica to this day. That's why she feeling some type of way that she was flirting with Safari and whatnot. And like, both of y'all need to heal independently, privately, not on the show. Like, let's take a season off, especially you, Erica. Let's take a season off and work through what you got to work through. Okay, so other than that, the ladies then go inside, and that's when we get to talk about percentages of what they want in a man. Most people want 50-50, but Amy mentions like she wants a 90-10. Sierra says she wants a 90-10. So then that's when Yandy and Rashida are looking at them saying, no, that's unrealistic, because it's not always going to be like that. Some days, you might be at a 90, they might be at a 10, and other days he might be at a 90, you might be at a 10. I get what you're trying to say, Yandy. But I need both of us to put in 100, okay? I'm not finna be putting in 90 and you put it in 10. We both need to be at 100. Yes, I get there's days where we may not show all 100%, but as far as the relationship goes, we need to be putting in 100%. Now, if we're talking about financial, like specific financially, I guess it's just dependent on the relationship, okay? I'm not gonna, if someone loses their job, yes, of course, the other person, come on, don't be stingy. If they're down, they got a couple months where they not working. Yes, put in that extra money that you need to make sure the bills are paid and whatnot, and vice versa. But as far as how they're gonna split the bills, it really depends. Some people want to pay, some men want to pay the whole 100%, and the females just use their money to spend on whatever they spend it. Some people want to do 50. It just really depends. So as far as that goes, okay, that's just dependent on the relationship. But as far as what you put into the relationship, no, we both need to be at 100%. Okay, let's keep it clear. Okay, because none of that fit. Okay, but finances, okay, I get what they're trying to say. But it was kind of confusing to me. So hopefully, someone could clarify to me what exactly they was talking about. I mean, I could just go look back or what they was talking about, but I'm already doing a review, so I'm not going to go back to look what they was talking about in the sake of this review right now. But, I'm just going to move on at this point. I'm talking too much. So then we get to Jessica, Erica, and Bambi. I don't know what they were doing really, but they were talking, and that's when they talked about Jessica's fibroids and, what she going through health-wise. And when they were leaving, Erica said she was in her soft feminine woman era. I'm not really seeing that, Erica, but, they know you better than me. Maybe on off camera, you may be in your soft woman era, feminine woman era, but I'm not seeing it on the show. So there's that. And then we move on to Mendeecees. He meets up with his mom for lunch in New York, and he apologizes for what he done said in the interview and for hurting her feelings. So his mom does seem to accept his apology, saying she knows he didn't say it to her feelings, but it did hurt her feelings, and it was hard for her to hear, understandably so. And as they go on talking and discussing about things, Mendeecees ended the conversation with saying he always got her no matter what. So looks like hopefully they could keep it at that, but I feel like it keeps being brought up, even though it seems like they squashed the beef, so to speak. But yet, whenever he talks about it again, she gets in her feelings again. So, I mean, I guess that's just something she gonna have to personally figure out how to deal with. I don't know what else to say in regards to that. We're just bringing up reoccurring issues in the season, and the storylines are dry. So then we move on to Chaotic. So he has a video shoot for one of his singles that he got. Erica Banks shows up, and Erica Banks says, since everybody want to know what we got going on or whatever, we scratching the surface, he getting to know me and whatnot. Congratulations. I mean, I don't know who really was asking other than Amy, but thanks for letting us know. So after that, they, how Chaotic is, all touchy-feely, got her, hoist her up with his arms and looking like he dry humping her in the air and whatnot. Amy pops up. Clearly, she don't like what she sees. She comes in with her crack showing. I don't understand what type of pants this was, but her booty crack was showing, and I'm just like, okay. And clearly, like I said, she wasn't liking what she was seeing. She seemed a little salty about it, but understandably so. She's feeling like her and Chaotic were best, friends for all this time, and that they were trying to like move to something. But then she's walking into seeing him all up on another woman. I can see how she could be in her feelings a little bit, so I'm not gonna fault her for that, so to speak, that much. But pretty much she let us know that she was supposed to be the main chick in the video, and she lets Chaotic know that like I thought I was the main chick. So Chaotic was like, okay, you and Erica could both be the main chick in the music video. So Amy really wasn't feeling none of that, what he was saying. And in the midst of this, here comes Sierra popping up. So I guess Chaotic done told Sierra she could be in a video as the main girl. We don't know. She didn't specify. But she not even there to be in a video. She there to confront Chaotic because Chaotic, wasn't man enough to have her back to step in between her and Scrappy when they were arguing. So I'm like, oh, okay, here comes another person to come at Chaotic. So I guess Chaotic is the punching bag for all the females on this season of this show because it seems like, since Chaotic be doing Chaotic, so people don't really be liking that. Do I care for Chaotic? It is what it is. I mean, sometimes he's the comedic relief. On the family reunion, he was being funny and whatnot. So it's like, at times he's funny, but I mean, other times it's just kind of like, what are you trying to get at here? Like, what are you trying to do? So she has smoke for him. She confronts him about, why he wasn't doing his manly duties and, stepping between her and a man. She was arguing with a man. He's a man. Scrappy's a man. He shouldn't be stepping to her like that, pushing her, whatnot. So Chaotic does try to defend himself, saying he did step in between her. They had the flashback scene of him literally stepping between them, so he did. So obviously Sierra's mad, so she's not even gonna acknowledge the fact that he really did step in between them. And she's pretty much saying, oh, he should have done more, and put his hands on Scrappy or whatnot. Chaotic's like, listen, I'm not trying to get into no trouble. I ain't trying to get into no legal trouble. I ain't trying to do none of that. So then he lets her know, like, listen, I'm not your knight in shining armor, so I don't know what you're trying to have me do. So then it goes to commercial for dramatic effect, comes back from commercial for dramatic effect, and Sierra thinks that's effed up of what he done said. Oh, just because he was in my pants doesn't mean, means that, he couldn't stick up for me. And it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, I can understand, like, I try to look at things from both perspectives. I get what you're trying to say, Sierra, but I feel like you're looking at it different than what it needs to be. Like, I get it, like, yeah, you shouldn't have to be sleeping with me or be with me in order to back me up, but at the same time, you and Erica both are fighting a battle that's not even yours. Okay, let's get back to the fact that you're really getting at him for Bambi, and also because y'all mad at y'all previous relationships, y'all projecting that anger along with Bambi's anger on Scrappy. Scrappy already got to deal with Bambi. He don't need to deal with y'all. Okay, really, Erica brought it up, and then you wanted to co-sign and add to the fuel. Leave the man alone. Okay, I'm not saying, once again, I always want to make the disclaimer. I ain't saying what Scrappy did is right. I ain't saying that Scrappy is the best of men to be out here leaving alone. But at the same time, this is not your battle. You was never with the man. You don't got no kids by the man. So if Bambi ain't really bringing no smoke to Scrappy, other than probably a mediation, y'all don't need to be bringing no smoke to him either. And now you want to bring smoke to Chaotic because he didn't do much. So because of that, now you mad at him, and Chaotic ain't really trying to hear that. Like, Scrappy was just saying, you not his girl, so he don't even know why he arguing with you. But because he said the word B, so now you took that really to heart. And now that Chaotic done said, he's not your knight in shining armor, so now you kind of took that to heart, like, oh, because you're in my pants, you can't defend. Like, I get it, but not to the point where she's getting so upset about it. Like, obviously, if someone's your man, they're gonna definitely defend you. And as someone like Chaotic, who's probably got more loyalty to Scrappy, do you really think he's gonna try to defend you as much, other than trying to step in between, make sure nothing done happen? Not really. But she said she was over it, so she walks away. Okay, whatever. And then, Amy does try to come to Sierra's defense. And I don't honestly think it was in regards to more so of defending Sierra, but because she was feeling some type of way about Chaotic and Erica, so of course she's gonna go with the person that's already mad at Chaotic. So she's gonna defend her a little bit, and Chaotic was like, "What is everybody coming at me for? It's always me, me, me." So Amy was like, "Okay, I'm over it." Tells Erica, she's the woman in the video, and walks away with her butt crack showing. And Erica stays; she don't leave. And then, coincidentally, like a cue, like producer saying and scene, Scrappy go in, Scrappy comes in, he shows up coincidentally after Sierra done left and Amy done left with her butt crack showing. And Chaotic pulls him to the side to tell him all that done happened. And, Scrappy's like, "I did nothing wrong," because Chaotic says, "You got to apologize to Sierra." And then Scrappy said, "Well, she need to apologize to me." So then that's when Chaotic says, "Y'all both need to apologize to each other, and you guys need to have a conversation. So you need to pull her to the side and, talk to her about all this that's going on." So if Scrappy gonna do that, I don't know. We're gonna have to find out next episode or whatever he decides or thinks about doing it. But I don't really see that coming to fruition willingly. It might be one of those things where they're at a shindig where everybody of the cast is invited. So of course they're in the same room. So it looks like words eventually have to be said. But I don't really think Scrappy really cares so much about mending things with Sierra when he already know where her loyalty lies is with Bambi, because that's what he told Erica. So I mean, Chaotic, and I understand trying to be kumbaya and whatnot, but listen, just leave it alone, okay? You already getting talked. Everybody already confronting you about everything, so it's just leave it alone, because you already brought so much drama on Scrappy by telling Erica and saying that, Erica Mena saying that Erica Banks or Amy done told you, even though it was really Mama D who done told you, because you was there when she told you and Amy at the same time. So let's not act like you not in the mix being messy either. Anyway, we lastly get to Rashida and visiting Andy at her restaurant, and then Spice shows up, and they talk about the event of Erica, Scrappy, and Sierra getting into it. But then that's when Spice lets them know about her health situation, and she feels like she's gonna die early. So they're trying to speak encouraging words to her, and she's just down. Like I said, this episode, I give it to her. And it don't help. Like when she was talking about her daughter calls her. So she thought, "Oh, look at God, trying to lift me up." But unfortunately, it wasn't for good news. Because as soon as she opens the FaceTime and sees her daughter's face, she freaks out because half her daughter's face is swollen. And we don't know what done happened. But, Spice went into Mama Bear mode. She's like, "I'm taking the next flight to Jamaica because I got to see what's going on." She tells them to bring her to the hospital, who's ever with her. And she's like, "I gotta go, guys." She gets up and goes outside and just kind of sort of collapses to the floor. Not really collapse, but she just squats to the floor, just crying and just, weeping that, it's always something. And usually in times of distress, when things are going on, it feels like things keep happening one after another. So once again, I'm not really, there's nothing I can really comment, because stuff like this really do happen. And I'm not in no way, shape, or form saying this is fake, because it does seem very real what's going on in her life. So I'm so sorry, Spice. That's why I put up the blue for you, because I really put up the blue because of the logo for the banner and stuff. But this is for you, Spice, okay? Because you going through it. I do like you, and you are a great performer, and you will overcome this, because I see you performing nowadays. So current time. So hopefully her daughter's okay. I guess we're gonna have to wait to see what happens. And then it looks like next week we're gonna have more drama, because Amy and Rennie are gonna get into it. But this is Love and Hip Hop. This is what we know about. So, ain't nothing new. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you laughed at least once, please subscribe. If you didn't laugh, come back next week. Hopefully I can make you laugh, so you can subscribe. Let me know what you thought about this video. Comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. But easy breezy. Lord. Be easy breezy, lemon squeezy. Goodness gracious. All right, I'm done. Bye.